Hello, my dudes, and welcome back to the Mikey and the Press Pass podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm David.
And before we begin, what are you enjoying?
I had a hankering for a Buenaventura today.
Nom noms.
We don't have any of them here, so I had to go on a mission to get them, which is...
Buenaventura?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We got the cool, like the regular cool wari.
Regular?
Just not the Buenaventura.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I went down there and got some sticks that you guys don't carry here, and we don't carry at Aloni. So.
Oh, you mean everything?
Things that I like? Nah. It's probably pretty even third.
Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
Things here, you know, that I can't get elsewhere that, you know, I want to smoke. Like Regis, I smoke Regis a lot here. Cuban Classics. Don't have those at Aloni. Don't have them at Mission.
Cuban Classics?
Yeah.
That's like a staple.
You'd think places that carry my father don't usually have it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, they don't carry like any of the, like if they have any of the DPGs, it's the blue label.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good.
It's a blue label for a reason.
Yeah, it's good, but, you know, sometimes I want a Cuban Classic. So, yeah, Tatuaje Connecticut's. Don't have those here. We don't have them at Aloni. So, I get the Capaguan at Aloni because they have that here and there and they, you know, whatever. So, it's like I just kind of go like, what do they have here that I like that I can't get elsewhere? So, the other two places.
You get like a cheeseburger from McDonald's. Or, no, you get a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, you get the fries from McDonald's, and you get a milkshake from Five Guys.
Yeah, making the rounds.
Yeah, fat boy moves.
Yeah, that's like compiling a whole meal. This isn't really like that. It's more piecemeal kind of situation where it's like, I want this at the moment and don't have it. So went down there, got a Buenaventura, got a Henry Clay Warhawk.
Those are always good.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. They're good.
That's a sleeper. No one ever talks about this cigar.
Cigar Aficionado did this year.
Oh, they did? Oh, fuck. You fucked it up.
You fucked up the order. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
I'm pretty sure it's on the list.
Fuck.
So good luck.
Because I got woke at the show. I was like, God damn, what the fuck is I... What the...
Yeah.
You selling this stuff?
Yeah.
From you guys? You guys made this?
And they're like,
yeah,
all under $10.
Yeah.
like $9.5,
you made this?
$8.50.
Yeah.
Fucking really good.
Anyway. I'm smoking the Camacho pre-embargo.
Yeah.
I don't know whatever that means, but yeah, it was like a sliver of pre-embargo tobacco.
Yeah, I felt like I should have waited. Like I had smoked a lot of cigars the day that I had it, like probably 4 or 5 already, and like I probably couldn't appreciate like the subtlety of it because
it's not bad.
Yeah, it was pretty decent, but I just feel
very rustic. Tasting.
Yeah, I felt like I kind of was like missing some of the depth of the profile because just my palate was kind of blown out. So yeah.
Yeah, Camacho in general is not very subtle. Their blending's not very subtle.
No, it's usually super extra.
Yeah, super extra. This one's not. It's fine. It's about a medium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far the first like third of it's not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of I from my recollection the first third of it was what I liked the most.
Okay.
And then it just kind of was like pretty solid, and then it was like just kind of turned into like a normal cigar. I was like, yeah, it's pretty decent still. I smoked the whole thing, so it couldn't have been that bad. But yeah, the first third is just like that Pier 28 Lonsdale or whatever it is.
Which one?
The one that's like silver and like salmon colored or whatever.
I guess that's
the Habano. I think it's the Habano. The first third of that cigar is fucking dope.
Oh, is it?
It's like really good, and then the second third is like pretty decent, and the last third is like, so it averages out to like a slightly above average cigar, but like you want the whole cigar to taste like the first third does.
Yeah,
and it doesn't. And it's kind of a disappointment.
Well, anyway, so what you been up to this week?
Secured an apartment. So
secured one.
Signed the lease the other day, so
nice.
Yeah.
When's the move-in date? The end of the month?
Well, whenever. We can move in, I think, starting next week. But we're paid up through February at our current place, so we'll probably just take our time moving.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best.
Yeah, well, about 6 weeks to move. So that's cool. The place is less expensive than the rent we pay now, and it's significantly nicer. Has all the things that we want. With the exception,
Sans pool table.
There's no pool table.
Fuck!
That was not on the list of things. That was like a thing that like
nice to have.
It was a okay. That would be cool, but like it wasn't.
No, we can't. We can't move in there.
Nope. Counter space, forced heat, hardwood floors, washer dryer, more bedroom space, more floor space in general, nicer fixtures. All these things were on the list, and we got all those. The only thing, there's carpet in the upstairs. I don't like that, but that's not that big of a deal. So that's cool. So now we begin the arduous process of trying to get our security deposit back, which I'm sure we will promptly spend on furniture and just other stuff for the new apartment. So
well, that's a better problem than downsizing, because that means you have to get rid of shit. At least you're like bringing stuff in and kind of filling it out slowly rather than downsizing.
Yeah, we don't have that
figure out
problem.
ways to get rid of it.
No, we don't really have that problem. Luckily, we have enough. And that was another thing on the list, is storage space. Looked at a couple places that were fine, and they hit most of the things, and it was like one of those things that doesn't dawn on you. And like we were looking at this place, and Diana was like, "Yeah, it's pretty nice," and I'm like, "Yeah, but there's one closet in the living room, one closet in the bedroom, and neither of them are very big." She's like, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that." I'm like, "Yeah, like where's all the shit that's in our closets now gonna go? Like, sure, there's more floor space, but none of it is devoted to like storage. And this is like an apartment you could have if you had no things, which we have pretty close to no things, but not no things."
Yeah, I could do it the getaway by having like a rollaway hanger.
Yeah, that's what she said. I'm like, but why wouldn't we just look for a place that has storage space? So we found that. So they have a lot of closet space. There's a lot more kitchen space. The only thing I don't really dig that much is it's like the kitchen and the living room just kind of like bleed into each other. There's really not a delineation. I think we're going to get one of those little portable islands that kind of delineates the kitchen from the living room. But the downstairs is just the kitchen and the living room. And so it's just all kind of like one space that's kind of like bleeds into, but it's not that big of a deal. We'll figure it out. It's a nicer place all in all. So that's cool. So balcony and skylight and washer and dryer and all that. Shower seems pretty nice. That's a big thing for me, is having a nice shower. I don't like places that have fucking shitty water pressure or don't get the water hot. It's really...
that's the worst, where it takes like 5 minutes for the water to get hot.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just beginning the process of that. So we should be able to take our time, but we're going to buy some. Diana needs a desk, and we need some other stuff to fill out the apartment, and we're probably going to trade up some of the stuff we have, coffee table, living room chair, kind of trade them up to other stuff. So that's cool, but that was like a large chunk of my week was looking at apartments and then securing that apartment and giving notice to our landlady and
Tell them to fuck off.
Yeah. No, I enjoy living where I live now. It's and she was like, "Oh, why are you moving?" It's like, "Well, because we can get a better apartment for less expensive than we pay here. So nothing to be done about it. I like living here. And just if I could get more for less, why wouldn't I?" That's
Is there a podcasting area there?
No.
Have Mike's Will podcast?
I have Mike's Will podcast. But there was a stratification because it's like a townhouse basically. So the washer and dryer and the bathroom and the bedroom are all upstairs, and the kitchen and the living room are downstairs, and so that's just more of a separation of those areas, which is nice. You can go to other areas of the house.
Hey.
Yeah, it's like that's where our apartment is now. Everything's just cramped up and like. So yeah, I think we'll probably get rid of the kitchen table, which is we'll have more counter space, so that's nice. In the kitchen. Not a ton more, but there's a dishwasher. That's a big plus.
Oh yeah, that's always fun.
So it's like I don't have to have a dish rack. That frees up some counter space. And it's like we have counter space. We can actually like use the counter space in the kitchen for shit. Instead of just having to be like, oh, there's one cup here. I guess I have to move that cup if I want to like chop some vegetables.
Yeah, that's a pain in the
It's
ass.
fucking obnoxious.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, just banality there. But
Adulting.
Adulting. Yeah, so hoping that I can kind of The only thing is when we moved before, it was like right around the corner. So it's really easy to move. You just like throw a couple boxes in the car and drive on over. But now we're like far enough away where we have to like plan it out.
Get a U-Haul. Well, I don't really need it. Maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing is I wanted to avoid getting a U-Haul because we don't really have enough stuff that needs the U-Haul, like 4 or 5, like a bed and like a console table, a couch, like 4 or 5 things. So I asked Anthony Miller, he's like the only person I know who has a truck. I was like, hey man, like, would it be okay if I use your truck at some point? He's like, yeah, like I'll help you move. And I was like, yeah, I'll buy you some sticks or whatever I would spend on the fucking U-Haul, like I'll just give to you, and it would just be easier because I'll have someone help me move the shit and it'll be quick.
Yeah, that's my worry of like I like the idea of owning a pickup truck. But the reality of it is like half the like out of the 52 weeks out of the year, probably like half of that people are gonna ask me, "Oh, could you help me move?" or "Can I borrow your truck?" It's like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, you just have to have few friends.
Are you moving?
People that you don't have very many friends, and people don't ask you. I suspect part of it is though too is that you kind of know what you're getting into when you have a truck.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think that there's a good chunk.
Hey, man, I need get some wood from Home Depot. Could you help me out? Like, why?
But you don't make like, it's just like if you want to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs.
Yeah.
Right. If you're the kind of person that needed a pickup truck, like every day of the year, you would just accept that some people were going to ask you.
Sure.
And I've certainly known some people that you almost get the impression that they kind of like people asking them to like use their truck. You know, it's like a reason for people to pay attention to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm your pal, right? I'll help you fucking move the stuff with my truck. And it's like, cool. Yeah.
Now that you did me a favor, maybe you could do me a favor.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like the ultimate leverage for everybody. It's like, I don't know. I might be busy that week. I don't know if you can borrow my truck, man.
It's just like, people like this. Whether it's I feel like it's shameless that some people are that way with their dogs too. Is they just use their dogs to get attention from people, or they're the kind of person that bakes a lot and they're just always like they always just have baked goods, and so they just like, hey, like just pay attention to me. I will give you fucking cookies, right? It's like, just leave me alone. It's like, so yeah, I think you kind of know the score when you buy a truck. Yeah, or you just keep it on the DL. And buy,
you a truck?
Shopping for a new vehicle. It's weird. You keep saying vehicle instead of car. That's true. You noticed that. Yeah. It's perceptive of you. Anyway, what about you? What's keeping your week occupied?
Been on a community marathon. That thing's kind of like comfort food for me. I just finished up season 3 of Community. I'm skipping 4, going directly to 5.
It's 4 like a shit season or something?
Yeah, that's when Dan Harmon got fired. And it's a weird season. Like, it lost its soul. Like, it had all the same characters. They're doing wacky stuff, but it just didn't feel the same. So that's the season you usually want to skip over.
Good to know.
Yeah. I forgot. Like, there's some of like great stuff that happens during season 3. They did a Law and Order episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they did Ken Burns documentary style. That was great. They did a clip show, but none of the clips happened in the show.
Oh, that's funny. So it's all original material?
Yeah, it's all original material.
That's cool. That's a good commentary on the clip show.
Yeah, clip show, and then it turns to like a Shutter Island spoof.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. And they did an 8-bit RPG kind of styled episode.
The whole episode is just 8-bit?
Probably like more than half.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. So going back to this stuff, I was like, oh yeah, season 3 was really good. And there's like little choice, like tidbits in the show where, like some of the characters hum this melody like throughout the show, and they just hum it randomly, and you don't really pay much attention to it. And then they had an actual like a part where the radio turned on. It was like, turn on to the smooth jazz. And it was like that song.
Oh, nice.
I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, the Community is like probably, I don't know. There's some like Parks and Rec's really good. But I think that stands out as one of my favorite like comedies.
I mean, I'm a Seinfeld guy, so I like Seinfeld. But
yeah, sure.
Seinfeld, I think, is and The Simpsons, obviously.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched Simpsons in like 20 years or whatever, so it's like with any regularity. But it's all still up there. It comes out like pretty much anything that I reach for what is that like? Like some Simpsons reference comes up. Like it's like, oh, it's like this. Like it's that South Park episode of like Simpsons have just done everything. Like they just every single thing that I can think of reminds me of some episode of Simpsons that I've seen. And it's just like it's just covered all of humanity up to a certain point, and now they're just kind of like trucking along. So, but yeah, and I don't get the people are like, that show's still on the air. It's like, yeah. And have you like?
The news is still on.
Yeah, but the thing is I don't get it. Is just like I checked in with it a while back.
Yeah,
like just to see what was what, and it's still pretty fucking good, man.
The highs aren't that high, but it's like a Gatling gun.
Yeah,
with the jokes, it's like constant.
Yeah,
so it's interesting. It's still funny, but it's not like you're dying on the ground laughing from like earlier years, but it's still a funny show.
No, see, the thing is, I don't think we're dying laughing. It's like one of those things that like it just gets funnier like the more you think about it and the more it's like I don't know that the current episodes are that way, but I don't like a lot of the stuff in The Simpsons is like never like busting a gut. It's just like, man, you think about it for a while. It's a Big Lebowski effect. You just like after you think about it for a while, like, God damn, it's so fucking funny on like multiple levels, right? But yeah, I went and watched an episode. It was like Mr. Burns and like Yale University and shit. And it was like
we're him as an alien.
Yeah, but like no,
for love.
The Yale University episode was like it was a commentary on all like the woke shit that's like coming out of like Yale, and he's just like so taken aback. He's like, I'm sorry, is this not still a bastion for evil capitalism? And like what are you people doing? You know, he's like freaking out, like this old man syndrome, you know. And so it's like I don't know, it's like still pretty fucking good. But no, Community is like it's one of those shows that I've like dipped my toe into and I like, but I've never been like deep into.
They played a 3-season gag where some guy mentions Beetlejuice in one season. Second season, they mentioned Beetlejuice again. And they're at a Halloween party and they mentioned Beetlejuice and you see the guy walking in the background. It's like you had to pay that off in 3 seasons.
Yeah, that's like some Arrested Development level shit.
Yeah.
It's like super fucking deep, layered fucking jokes that are like, oh man, that's good.
And there's some of the alternate reality stuff that you see is like the kind of the scaffolding that Rick and Morty's kind of based on.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So that's... Yeah, I think it was ahead of its time, and that
iconoclastic.
Yeah. So that was a good watch. I'm gonna just started season 4 right now, or season 5.
I was gonna say I thought you said 4 was the Skip It season.
Yeah, it's the gas leak season.
Oh, is that what they refer to?
Yeah. Is that did that happen during the gas leak last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was weird. That was a really weird time.
We're all just crazy.
Yeah.
Just.
What else? And today was the first fight card of the year for 2021. UFC Fight Island number 7. It was Holloway versus Cater for the main card. And I was talking to Chris after the fight card ended. I was like, if there was any fight card that you wanted to get into watching MMA, this is the one to watch. It was like action packed all the way through. Pretty much the main card was all like all except one fight. The Carlos Condit Matt Brown fight was a decision, but everything else was just like TKO, knockout. And there was a decision on the main card. But on the top of the card the main card with Holloway Cater, he just Holloway beat the brakes off Cater. Like he got like 10-8 rounds, like 3 in a row. Just beat the shit out of him. I was just surprised he was alive. Like it's like one of those fights where he took years off his life.
Jeez.
He just beat the shit out of him.
It's brutal.
And like the last 30 seconds, like he's yelling at the commentary, I'm the best boxer in MMA. And he's like slips a punch and then no look jabs the dude. He's like, what? Wow, I must be the greatest.
Yeah, watch out for that shit.
Yeah, so it was pretty good. And to note, another note on that fight card is the first one they had a limited audience. I think there's about 1,000 or 2,000 people in that arena in Abu Dhabi.
How many does it hold?
Oh, way more than that. I couldn't tell. It's a big arena.
Huh.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was actually interesting to like hear the crowd and them chanting, Holloway. And then the fighter's getting pumped when something happens. Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it for my MMA hour.
MMA, Mikey's MMA hour, brought to you by ASMR.
AOL.com.
Yeah. I started watching a few. I've been kind of fucking holed up since yesterday, like all yesterday. Like Thursday night, I went home and then like I was holed up all yesterday because the old lady was laid up. And so all yesterday and today is just like watching stuff. Like, what did we watch? I watched the first episode of Flight Attendant on HBO.
How was that? No?
I watched one episode of it and I was just kind of like, I'm bored with it.
Oh, okay.
It has some people in it though. It's got the chick that played Penny on Big Bang Theory. She thinned out. She like doesn't look like she's 12 anymore. Looks like an adult. It's got the guy that played Dario in Game of Thrones. The second Dario, not the first Dario.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot there was a second.
Dario 2.
Yeah.
The main Dario. It's got Rosie Perez is in it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like old school. But yeah, I don't know. It was like, it's like quirky and like whatever. Diana wanted to watch it, but I wasn't really into it. Watched the first half of season 1 of The Leftovers. Got that underway. Don't know that I'm gonna finish it though. It's a little melodramatic. It's a decent amount of the
best
thing.
television ever.
I'm not seeing it. It just feels like it's just trying to like hit you in the fucking feels bones with like how tragic
or
all
is it
of
getting
these
like
people
simmering now? It's like a simmer.
It's just like all of the characters just have like this fucking like super tragic backstory.
Yeah.
All of them. And it's supposed to be from some small town in like New York, and it's just like all the fucking tragedy. It's just like beating you over the head with it. It's not that it's not well acted or well written or whatever. It's like it's all that. It's good. Music is a little melodramatic, and it just kind of like, I don't know, it just lacks a lot of subtlety. But that said, not a bad show. I might watch more of it and give it more of a chance. But yeah, I'm 5 episodes in, and usually that's about my threshold for a show. If it doesn't grab me, I'm out. Like, 5 episodes is enough for you to prove your mettle to me, and if you don't get me invested in the story, and
there's a problem.
It's like you're just doing something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, because like usually it takes most series for me. Like if I don't get it in 3, I'm not fucking getting over that hump.
I think it depends on the series though. Some series are a little bit more of a slow burn, and if I hate it after 3, I'm not watching more. But if I'm just kind of like still on the fence, like I'll give it a couple more episodes for it to kind of pull me in. We always talk about Breaking Bad. I feel like if you just watch the first 3 episodes of Breaking Bad, you probably never went back to it. But it gets like season 1 is more or less like all build up. Like it's build up. I feel like the show doesn't really grab you until like season 2 gets underway. Couple episodes into season 2 is like when it really kind of gets its claws into you. And not that the first season isn't good. It's just kind of like, I just don't really see. You can't really see like the conflicts are just kind of like bumping up against the ceiling, and it's not until you get to season 2 where you see that the conflicts are bigger and that ceiling is much bigger, and you can kind of plot out a trajectory for the show. But I think that first season is necessary in the whole context of the show.
Yeah,
it's not like I would say like you should scrap it and just start where you started at season 2.
It's not a season 4.
No, it's just like you need to go through it, and it's all character development and putting all the set pieces, like a game of chess. It's like putting all the set pieces in place so that it all plays out in a way that is cohesive and congruent. And so some shows are a slow burn like that. So usually I give them 4, 5, 6 episodes depending. But yeah, this show I don't know. I don't know where it's going. But so I watched that. I watched what else did I fucking watch? Some other movie I thought. Watched High Fidelity today. That movie's fucking good, man. Like, I haven't watched it in a long time, and I always was like, it's like the best John Cusack movie, which it is. It unequivocally is. And I was just watching it, and there's like so like mainly what struck me watching it this time is how tight that movie is, how well edited it is. Like every scene has purpose, and like to the point where, and it feels like organic, which is really good. Like sometimes there'll be like something happening in a scene, and like there's a scene where he takes a phone call, and the phone call is with his ex because they split up, and they're talking, and like you could linger on like what happens in that phone conversation and have him processing, because he has the narrative where he talks to the camera and stuff, and there's sometimes where really not a whole lot is happening on screen, but he's expositioning, and it's like he's looking back at the past and kind of it's commentating on the future, and so it's like well edited in that regard. But like you could linger on that conversation and his processing, where it's the conversation where he learns that it's not a phone call from his ex, it's a phone call from their mutual friend.
Ugh.
And during that conversation he learns that she's dating this other guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could linger on that, and he could like, have a reaction to it.
What a bitch.
You're invested in it, and you're interested.
Yeah.
But in the middle of that phone conversation, Lisa Bonet's character comes into the store.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is much more effective editing, is like something interrupts that conversation, which has a lot of gravity to the point where it almost kind of brushes over the fact that she's seeing another guy.
Mm-hmm.
He gets interrupted. He has to go. He goes out. He talks to Lisa Bonet's character, who he ends up sleeping with later in the movie. But he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's really great. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go I got something I gotta go take care of. But then I'll be back and we can talk some more, right? And she's like, yeah, okay, cool, right? And then it just shows him he goes back into the office, he goes back into the storeroom and closes the door, and he's like, what fucking Ian guy? What is she talking about? Right? And then it just cuts, and like it's like, and they could linger on that, and him going back and like talking to her and like how that played out and everything, but they don't. And it's just like, and every scene just has like so much purpose and commentary to it that it's just a really well put together movie. Clocks in just under 2 hours, but man, when you think about like there's the breakup with his old lady, and then there's the whole like she tells the friend, and the friend has the interlude with John Cusack. And then meanwhile, he's going through all of his breakups, his top 5 breakups, and kind of what went wrong. Then he meets up with all of those top 5 breakups at some point throughout the movie, and like has this catharsis or whatever, like this post-mortem with all of them about the relationship. And then Laura's dad dies. And in between there, he has like this big back and forth with her, trying to get her back, and she's dating this other guy, and then her dad dies, and then they get back together, and then he starts realizing that he falls back into his own habits, and he has some self-reflection on that. And meanwhile, while that's happening, he's producing these kids' records, and like, doing all of that, and like putting something out in the world, and like, and then his relationship with Laura is like codified, and that all happens, like that trajectory of all those things is happening simultaneously, and all happens in under 2 hours. And like I was struck by that, because normally it's like, and the soundtrack to that movie is fucking dope as shit. So it's a really solid movie. If anyone listening hasn't seen it, or you haven't seen it, like it's definitely, especially I think it's a better movie to see now that you're in your 30s. I think I first saw it in 2000. How old were we then?
2000?
Yeah, 18? 18.
Yeah.
So I liked it, but
I want to go back and watch 30 something and see if I feel the same way about those characters on TV.
Oh, the TV show?
30 something?
I don't remember anything about that show except
I just remember the title and people just being sad all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the deal of being sad and being 30 something?
It's a fucking stupid show.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie resonates more if you're in your 30s. Because that's the age the character is, and it's this whole meditation on like growing up and becoming an adult. It's like a coming of age tale for people in their 30s.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
Which is,
yeah, because I'm not really into watching like coming of age in high school. Like it's not interesting to me. I'm too old. I don't care.
Yeah, high school in particular. Like, I don't think I'm so removed from my 20s that can still have an effect on me. And then if it's before that, like if it's an adolescence, Stand By Me or It or any of those kind of like coming of age tales, I can dig on them. But I think the biggest problem with high school shit is that it's the most unrealistic age group that's ever portrayed in media.
Oh yeah,
it's like high schoolers are not this.
They're not that interesting.
Yeah, or sophisticated, or
Yeah.
insightful, or thoughtful, or introspective. Like they're just not.
That's why I feel like Super Bad, that movie, that comedy, is like a more realistic depiction of like how teenagers think.
Yeah.
It's like, we need to get some alcohol. I'm trying to fuck.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I love The Breakfast Club. Like I like that movie.
I'm not a big John Hughes fan.
I wouldn't say, maybe love is a strong word, but like, you know, it's an enjoyable movie. I like it. As much as any movie in that genre of high school age, coming of age tales. But like, I'm a bigger like Stand By Me guy.
Okay.
Right? Like I think that's a better coming of age tale. And so yeah, I just it's usually like the problems that teenagers deal with, but as if they had the maturity to deal with them as if they were in their mid-20s. And it's like, well, but that kind of defeats the purpose, right? The whole point of that is that you don't have that level of depth and anything to really sort it out. It's why it's such a tumultuous time in a person's life, is that they don't have the words or the insight or anything to really kind of process what's happening to them. They're dealing with more adult problems, and they don't have an adult mindset, and so it's difficult for them. But then it's like, how do you could show that, but that, like, you know, they want it externalized in some way for the audience, so they have to like make these, I call it Catcher in the Rye syndrome, if you ever read that book. It's like the most obnoxious fucking book ever, because it's like who was it that called it? Literary masturbation.
Oh yeah.
It's a fucking book that makes teenagers feel like they have depth and soul and intellect, and like it's because the main character, like they often are, is like super precocious, right? And he just like has all the insights and philosophies of like a guy our age.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, no, that's not the way 16-year-olds are. I'm sorry. That's just not how it works. And so you read it when you're 16 and you feel like, this guy gets me. I'm super deep. And you're not. You're dumb. And that's fine. It's fine. You know?
It's okay.
I
think it takes time.
Yeah. And it's like, that's part of like what going through, like reflecting on that shit when you get to be like in your 30s is meaningful in some way, right? Like that's, I've been doing a lot of that lately, like reflecting on kind of the way I was like when I was a teenager, and like the things that happened to me when I was a teenager. And like you start to sort all of it out, and you kind of like make sense of it, and it like puts things in your life into context. But
I've always found Dead Poet Society annoying. It's like super emo. The kid kills himself because the dad's forcing him to go to military school. And it's like, so what? After that, you just go bone dudes now. You can't stop you.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like, it's not really that. It's that he's gay and like he doesn't know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I think that's it's Wilson in House. Is that kid?
Oh yeah, you're right.
That kills himself. It's
yeah,
Wilson.
You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot.
It's fucking Wilson, bro. He's all angsty. Yeah. Good times. I mean, I like that movie all right, but yeah, it's a little like...
Captain, my captain.
Oh, yeah, it's a little...
Calm down.
There's another version of that movie. Not version, but a movie that's like that. It's called... the old lady turned me on to it. What is it called? Fuck, I can't remember. But it has a very similar premise with a much different narrative, one that is much more interesting. And if I can remember the name of it, I'll remember it eventually.
Kids.
No, that movie is gross. That movie will make you...
Virgins, I love them.
Yeah, that's... Man, I saw that movie exactly one time. It's up there with Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah,
movies
you
I
just
will
need
not
one time.
ever watch again.
Yeah.
It's just like, nope. It's like a stain on my soul now. And I was like, good. I'm not...
I remember a buddy telling me that him and his mom went to Blockbuster. The mom picked up kids. Like, oh, this will be fun to watch with my son. The opening scene. It's like, nope, not going to watch it.
Yeah, it's bad. The whole movie's bad. I don't... I forget what other movie. That guy did Bully and a couple of other movies. My buddy Chris really likes that director. I'm not really sure why. It's like, yeah. Anyway.
All right, moving on. So, dealer's choice. Do you want to go top 25 or you want to do some news? What do you want to do first?
Do top 25 first.
Top 25. All right. So I guess, was this pretty recently that Cigar Aficionado released their top 25 cigars?
Well, they kind of did it in waves. It's like, so like they, you know, the number one cigar just got released just a few days ago. I want to say Thursday or Friday maybe.
Yeah, and that's why I was seeing an uptick of people picking it up. I was like, why pick that up?
I don't even know what it is.
All right. Should we go from 20, or should we go 1 to 25 or 25 to 1?
The latter.
All right. Number 25. Ramon Alones, number 2.
That's the Cuban.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good cigar.
Sure. Ramon Alones is great.
Yep. Just if it's a Ramon Alones at all, I don't know specifically which one that is, but I'm sure it's good. It's a Ramon Alones. It's Cuban. It's great.
Yeah.
They're all their stuff is good.
Number 24. Herrera Esteli Miami Short Corona Gorda.
That beat out the Ramon Alones?
Yes.
That seems really stupid to me because that cigar used to be good the year it came out and not so much these days.
It's been so long, I forgot what it tastes like.
When they used to have the red bands on them, they were good. Still, if you can find the Corona Gordas with the red bands on them, pick those up because those are good.
Number 23, La Flor Dominicana 1994 Mambo.
I don't know that cigar. Haven't smoked it.
Yeah, never had that one.
So we'll just skip over that.
Romeo y Hilueta Reserva Real Nicaraguan Toro.
Didn't smoke that. I don't smoke the Dominican.
Yeah, I don't smoke that. So.
Romeos. So yeah, moving on.
Highclere
Castle.
Yeah, I've never heard of this brand.
The Maduro or the Connecticut?
Looks like the Connecticut. Very light cigar.
Okay, yeah, that is a really good cigar. It's pricey as fuck though. It's Foundation.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's their premium line of stuff they make. So all the quality that you would expect to be there from a Foundation cigar is there. It's definitely a really solid Connecticut, but I think the Robustos are like in California they're like almost $20. So it's like they're good, but they're not worth the price.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like the other Foundation stuff is right there and it's like $5-6 less expensive, and it's like the Highclere Castle is only like
$5 better.
Yeah, it's not. It's like, I just smoke a fucking Wise Man or whatever, and it would be 90% as good as that thing, and I'd save $8.
Number 20, Four Kicks Capa Especial Robusto.
Four Kicks Capa?
Especial.
Oh, don't know that cigar.
Wow.
Sounds like an internet brand.
I forgot who it was. A spin-off of some. I forgot. I don't know.
Wow, I'm out the loop.
Plasencia Cosicha 146 La Vega.
Let me see it.
That white label.
Oh yeah. Whatever is it? 146. I always said 14B.
Oh yeah, it does.
I thought it was a 14B. No. Yeah, it's a pretty good cigar. Plasencia makes some pretty good stuff, but I think that they're just like originals are their best cigars. The Alma de Campo and the Alma de Fuego, like they don't really do it for me as much as just but that one's closer to just it's like a little bit of extra spice on it from the original. It's good, but again, it's one of those. Is the price worth the extra?
They're really pricey.
Yeah, they're like $20 some. So I don't know that I necessarily agree that they're that good. But if price is no object, then yeah, okay, yeah, belongs there.
Number 18, Fonseca by My Father Petite Corona. Very good cigar.
It probably should have been higher, I would guess. I don't know what else rounds out the list, but that was a pretty fucking dynamite cigar.
Yeah, it's hard for me to place those things because I don't know. I have to look through the whole list to see if that's a correct placement. Camacho, or number 17, Camacho Nicaraguan Robusto. I've had their cigars before. They're not bad.
I mean, maybe it's better because it's a Nicaraguan. Generally, their stuff is Honduran, and I don't like their shit. But maybe they can make a really good Nicaraguan cigar. They just do the things that they don't normally do. But didn't smoke that one either.
Okay. Number 16, Via La Vida Jester. It's AJ Fernandez blend.
Well, I'm sure it's probably decent.
Yeah. The band's like off-putting. It looks like it's a flavored cigar.
Huh.
Yeah, it has like a court jester on it.
Oh, yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, I've seen them before. I'm like, is that infused or flavored? I can't really tell.
If it's an AJ Fernandez, it probably deserves to be higher, but they just he had 3 in the top 10 or 12 last year, so they were like, we're fuck you.
Enough of you.
Yeah, enough of you. Go somewhere.
Number 15, La Aroma de Cuba, Especial number 1.
What does that one look like?
Has the yellow band.
Oh, yeah, those are decent. Generally speaking, though, I'm not like a huge fan of most of the La Roma de Cubas. I like the light blue band one. I think that's the one that Don Pepin blended, though, so that could probably explain
that's
why
probably why.
I was like, this is fucking good. Someone was like, oh, Don Pepin blended that. I was like, oh, that's why it's good.
Mm-hmm. Casa Torrent, Series 1973 Torpedo. Never had it.
Mm-mm.
Warzone Robusto.
Oh, that's why those are around. I wondered why we started having those and selling them.
Who makes it? Is that Fonseca?
I want to say so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
I was thinking Espinosa for a minute, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I smoked one of those a while back, and there was nothing to write home about.
Warzone.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Number 12, Ashton VSG Sorcerer.
What size is that?
I don't know.
Huh. Well, the VSG is a solid cigar as a
It's
general.
solid. It's a little overpriced for what it is.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But I assume this is just flavor. No price is no object. So then, yeah, it's a pretty solid cigar. But I don't know that I would put it on any of my top lists for any given year. But like, if someone gave me one, I'd be like, VSG. I haven't had one of these in a while.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna no, I don't like those.
But for me, the cigar and Ashton's line, that's the standout is the symmetry. I think that cigar is dope.
Really good cigar.
Yeah.
Number 11, Boulevard Bellicoso Fino. Of course.
It deserves to be on every top 10 list every year. Like, it's just that good of a cigar.
Number 10, Henry Clay Warhawk Corona.
Yeah.
It deserves to be top 10.
It does. It's a good cigar.
Yeah.
Especially in that size. That is the correct Vitola. It smokes really good in the Corona.
Oh, what the fuck? All right, now it gets a little hairy with the top 10. So they got the Rocky Patel number 6 Corona.
I don't know what that cigar is, but I'm sure it's trash.
Yeah, it's Rocky Patel.
It's gotta be.
I don't know. The only one I really like out of Rocky Patel was like the original Winter Blend. I forgot what it turned into. But yeah. Number 8, Oliva Series V Milano.
Oh, the
Churchill.
Milano coming again?
Yeah.
I think that cigar is overrated. I don't get why everyone likes it so much.
It deserves to be on the top 25 for like consistency, but I don't know about top 10.
I just, for me, it's the Oliva V number 4.
Yeah, those are good.
That cigar is fucking dynamite. It's like that little Corona size. Like that cigar, I think dunks on the fucking Milano in any size.
All right, number 7, Alec Bradley Gatekeeper Robusto.
Oh, okay. See, some of the things that we've been getting in Ohlone, I'm like, okay, it's making sense why we're getting them. Like, why are we suddenly getting people asking for these fucking things? Because it's like, I don't remember the last time anybody asked me for an Alec Bradley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I smoked it, and was...
Oh, it's Alec and Bradley. I never knew that.
Alec and Bradley?
Yeah, is there an ampersand in there?
Oh, I didn't
know that.
Alec and Bradley. Yeah, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, because it's not the name of the owner; it's his owner's sons.
Huh? Alec and Bradley.
Yeah,
news to me. But yeah, I didn't like that cigar. I thought it was just kind of funky. But again, Alec Bradley's Honduran, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably why. Don't like Honduran tobacco as a general rule.
But so, Alec Bradley is it? It is a decent cigar, considering it's like all like. Honduran. Yeah. I was like, is this Honduran? But I was like surprised.
Yeah, but it's just like the best Honduran cigar. It's just like saying you're like the smartest retarded guy. You know, it's like, okay, cool, good for you. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a fan, but you know, I get that like you have to have if we were doing this, and we were like, oh hey, like let's do our top 25, right? But it would just be like. It'd be like 20 Nicaraguan cigars and 5 Cuban cigars, probably.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to have guys that like Dominican and like, okay, you like Honduran tobacco. Yeah. You smoke this and say, where does it fall on the relative scale of Hondurans? Because like when I smoke
First the list goes, who pays us the most in advertising? What cigars do we like? And what do the plebes like too?
See, but for me, it's like anytime I like a Honduran cigar, what I say is, well, this tastes kind of Nicaraguan. It just doesn't taste Honduran.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, that's not necessarily a good Honduran cigar. Yeah. Like you should, I'm waiting to find a cigar that's...
You're a pretty gal for being white.
Yeah. But for being a white gal, you're awfully good looking. It's like, why the qualifier there? It's a little rude.
Number 6, Hoy de Nicaragua, numero uno, El Ambassador.
That's super impressive to me because that cigar was just boring as fuck.
It's a very boring cigar.
It's super boring.
Yeah.
I don't get why. It's like, especially even in Hoya de Nicaragua. Like, I like the CTs. I think the JDN Connecticut's are good. They're really good. But that is just like, I got nothing. It was just like super boring.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, number 5, Punch Short de Punch.
Oh yeah, that's actually a pretty decent cigar.
The Cuban.
Yeah. Yeah, it's decent. That's I don't typically think of it in like the
top 5,
the
really?
good Cubans. Like it's kind of like, oh, it's pretty solid.
Beat out a Boulevard.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but who knows? Maybe those are relatively new. I've only smoked one recently, so maybe they're relatively new. Someone gave me one. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, good. I mean, most of the Cuban brands, the flagship ones, are pretty decent. Punch is somewhere in the middle for me.
Yeah.
I think it's better than like Monte Cristo and Romeo and Juliet, and probably.
Yeah, it falls in within what I like in the flavor profile.
Yeah, but it's not up there with, like, for me, the good Cuban brands are Trinidad, Bolivar, Partagas, and then some other offbeat stuff, Juan Lopez and Sancho Panzas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then a tier down from that is probably like the Punches, Cohibas, and all that, and then like Monte Cristo and Romeo and Juliet and some of that stuff is just kind of on the bottom for me. Like, they're fine.
Yeah.
But I don't.
number 2.
Yeah, like those are, I mean, they're decent, but it's just like, I gotta be in the mood for one. It's not like I'm always in the mood for a Bolivar. It's like smoke that over pretty much anything.
Number 4, Le Mission Latier, 1959.
L'Atelier.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that cigar's been good for years.
Yeah.
I'm surprised this is the first showing it's making.
Oh, is it? Oh, interesting.
I mean, at least in the top, 10? I'm sure. Maybe it's been on the list before, but
that's a really good brand. I like their stuff.
Yeah, it's a good cigar. Actually, it was probably, I had a few of them recently, but I would say they probably were smoking better 2 or 3 years ago, which was kind of surprising to me. That maybe it did crack when the year it came out. Maybe it did get like in the top 5 or 10 because it was pretty good. But yeah, that's deserved.
Yeah. Number 3, Padron 1964 Anniversary Series Hermanos.
Yeah. Oh.
No, not that one.
Natural.
The natural. That's surprising.
That it's the natural. I just got bored giving it to the fucking like 64 Maduro every year.
Yeah. I don't like the naturals at all.
But it just solidified. Like, this is what, number 4, 3?
Number 3.
Number 3. So the top that brings, if you look at the top 5 like cigars that make the top 5 since Cigar Aficionado has been doing their top 25, which has been like 25 years or something.
Longer than that. 25. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe going on 30, but somewhere between 25 and 30. Yeah, Padron has more top 5 finishes than anyone by a wide margin. They've got like in that like 27 years.
Should they even put them in the list? Is like, they're good, just they're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's it.
First ballot Hall of Fame. It's just like,
go over there.
It's like, it's got number 1 like 5 times, and it's been the top 5 like 17 times or something like that, and it's been in the top like 25 or 10 like 10 more times. It's like, just any given year it's going to be somewhere between number 1 and number 12. This is almost a shoe-in. Something from them will be.
Yeah.
And it's always the anniversarios too. They never put any of the 1,000 series on there. I don't get that.
Well, just wait. They'll just turn into 64s, 26s.
Yeah, so I don't like the naturals, but yeah, I get it. Okay. Sure.
Number 2, Fuente Opus X Double Robusto.
Meh.
I don't know, because like the past couple of years, the crop hasn't been good for Opus for me. I don't get the Opus hype at all. Yeah.
And number 1,
EP Creo Pledge Prequel. Ugh.
I didn't even smoke it.
I was not impressed. I was like, it's fine. But
didn't they
win number 1?
Didn't they win number 1 last year too? Encore, wasn't that?
Oh yeah, they did win the Encore. What the fuck? Damn,
giving some money.
EPC, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, because last year number 1 was EPC Encore. Smoked it. Was like, meh. I smoked it before it ever even got put on that list.
No, I thought it was the Aging Room.
Oh, you're right. It was the year before last that it was Encore. But that year it was like the Encore, and we got them like 6 months before. Bill bought like $30 of these, and we were like, "What are you doing?" And then that fucking
Check
like,
this out, bro.
yeah, and then that shit came out, and it was like they were gone in like a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember smoking that and just being like, "This is, I mean, it's okay."
Some guy came and was like, "Are these pretty good?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're fine. That's a good cigar." But I'd never say this is like my favorite cigar.
But number 2 was the Opulence. That fucking cigar is good.
Yeah.
That's like probably maybe one of the best cigars this my father's ever come out with. Like,
that's so weird it didn't even crack the top 25. The Opulence?
Yeah, this year. I mean, they are starting to drop off a little bit. But the year it came out, it was number 2. It was the year before last. And that was my thing about it, is I was like, these are really good, but we're going to see how they hold up over a few years, how the crop is varying year to year, because that's why Boulevard deserves to be on every top 10 list, is because it's been a very good cigar for like fucking 20 years, like easily. And so that counts for a lot. Some years are better than others, but like, you know, so a new cigar comes out and it's super fire, but like give it 2 or 3 years, like can it maintain that quality? Then it deserves.
Yeah,
accolades.
APC's like the Mickey Free of cigars.
It's like new and sexy.
Got the new bitch in Shalimar.
She fine as fucking. Mickey Freeze is not a woman. All right, Mickey Freeze is a man.
That's surprising. I don't know. I wouldn't put that on my number 1.
I haven't even smoked it. I just was so underwhelmed with the Encore, and everyone seemed to think that was so good. And I was like, I feel like this is going to be a similar situation where I'm just going to be like, or the Aladino. Where is that? Everyone loves that cigar.
Yeah, I don't know.
Every single person I know besides fucking Adam, like, loves that cigar.
I don't know why. It tastes good to me.
I don't like it. I just fucking can't stand it.
Yeah. Has like that like earthiness and grassiness, which I hate in like Honduran cigars. Was like, hey, that's kind of refreshing.
I just I don't dig it.
They like put like crack in it. It's like
it's not for me.
They put like MSG in it. It's like,
I smoked 3 of them, like just trying to fucking like it. But like, man, am I fucking crazy? And like, I just like got through every one of them. But like, by the end of the 3rd one, I was like, I fucking hate this cigar. Why do I keep smoking it? And like, people just like, oh yeah, they put out a Cameroon, man. Like, you want to smoke that Cameroon? I'm like, I'm not smoking it. Fucking hate it.
Oh, the white label one.
No, it's like a burgundy and silver. The white label one, I think, is the Connecticut.
Oh, okay, that's one.
And then the Corojo is the one everyone likes, the one with the tissue paper on it. So like, yeah, I smoked that fucker 3 times and did not like it. And then they put the Cameroon out, and it was like, oh, you want to try it? I'm like, nope. Because everyone likes it, and it's the same company that everyone likes this other cigar, and I hate. So I don't have any confidence that it's going to be not terrible, let alone smokable. Yeah. So it's like, you guys can just take all those. You know what I think is...
It's like the same thing for me with... who makes The King is Dead, Long Live the King?
Caldwell.
Do not like that brand. I fucking hate that brand. I will not even smoke it if you gave it to me.
Damn, that's... Yeah, they make some stuff I like, but...
Because they're fucking... The quality's trash, dude. Like, I picked up, like, randomly picked, like, 3 cigars, all from different places. And they all smoke like shit.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is the deal? The cigar is supposed to burn, right?
Yeah.
And draw. Those are the basic things you need in a cigar. Right? And it doesn't even do that.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I mean,
it doesn't even taste good either.
I don't have any brand loyalty to them, but they do make some stuff that I think is all right.
Fucking turds.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Because at least if you smoke a Gurkha, it's smokable. It makes smoke. Smoke comes out of it. It burns.
Yeah.
That's good. Right? Not Caldwell.
It's just like drinking a milkshake and just like falls all over your face. It's like, oh god, I just want the milkshake in me. I don't want to fucking have to deal with this horse shit. You know, I think what really is a big gap in that list is did you have the new re-release of the Capaguan Connecticut?
No.
It's pretty fucking good.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking good.
Remix.
Well, they say it's the same blend, but then it's branded like with a different band, and it says LE on the box. But they're like, no, it's just the same blend. We just started branding it differently, and I smoked it. I'm like, this doesn't taste the same. This tastes like maybe it's just a different crop of the same blend.
Yeah. Could be.
But it's fucking really good.
Yeah, the same thing happened with the main 3 lines. Or actually, no. Dom Pepin Blue Label. Like the wrapper got really dark when they got their own factory,
Yeah,
own farms and stuff like that. And Dom Pepin was actually here, and I asked them, "Did you change the blend at all?" I was like, "No, it's the same thing, same exact thing."
it's a different crop.
Yeah,
Because they're growing in a different place.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's a big gap. That should have been in the top 10. I think that that fucking Casa Fernandez from Aganorsa leaf.
Oh yeah,
That's a fucking dynamite cigar. That should have been in the top.
no
10.
Regis. They should put some Regis in there.
Regis never gets any love.
Yeah, there's not enough advertising bucks. I guess.
It's part of what I like about them is they just like don't fucking play the game.
Yeah,
They're like, I don't care. Like I just make good shit and it's good.
Yeah.
Like and it's like all good. Like everything they make is like at least like
legend,
moderately
bruv.
decent.
Legend, bruv.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I've seen them once on CA's list, like one time. It was
like the Orchants. Those are good.
which one is that? Oh yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just pricey.
Yeah.
They're just pricey.
I remember when Father Bob got him in, and I was like smoking. I was like, "These are good." Saw the price, like, "Oh, that's why."
I got a great deal on a box of those. Bought them up. I was like, I boxed them for like $120 or something like that.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winter Blend is great. Red Label is great. White Label is really good. Sun Grown Maduro is great. Blue Label, like
That's a testament to have the red label, and I like it. It's a Habano. Like, this is pretty good.
Is that what it is? I don't even know that's what it is. This
Yeah.
is super fucking good.
Yeah,
It's like it's one of my favorite
not bad.
cigars.
Yeah.
I could take or leave the Blue Label.
Yeah, that was kind of disappointing.
They did reblend it. Have you had it since they reblended it?
Oh, no. I haven't.
Yeah, they reblended it.
Okay.
And supposedly, because I guess he was getting a lot of gripes about, like, why is this like such a dark Maduro and it's like not rich or anything? It's just kind of like hollow.
Yeah.
So reblended it and it is better, but it still doesn't hold up against the red and the white for the USA exclusivos, and it doesn't hold up against the sun grown Maduro, which is really good.
That's like the sleeper king.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, for like any list. No one ever talks about that one. It's such a good cigar.
It's such a really good cigar.
Yeah.
It's like so much that they have a sun-grown Maduro and the regular Maduro, and you would never smoke the regular Maduro.
Oh, yeah.
Like it makes the regular Maduro taste like trash.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
does.
perfectly serviceable cigar.
Yeah.
But once you smoke that sun-grown Maduro and it gets that little twang of fucking citrus and that like chocolatey note, you're just like, ooh, these are fucking good.
Yeah.
Especially in the Corona. Like the Corona size of that cigar is really fucking good.
Yeah, the smaller sizes are really good compared to like a Toro or whatever Gordo that they have.
I think the USA exclusive Red Label smokes pretty good in the Toro. I like it in the, they call it a Super Lancero, but it's really a Churchill. It's like a fucking 47 or by 7.5, so it's a Churchill.
Yeah.
Why do you call it Super Lancero? It's not a Lancero, it's a Churchill.
Super Lancero.
Yeah, but I think that's the best size of it. But I smoke the Toro more frequently just because it's less finicky.
Yeah, no Davidoff late hour. That would have been nice to have on the list.
No Davidoff at all on the
Yeah,
list.
fuck crazy.
Davidoff just stopped spending their money there, I guess. They're like, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. We don't need to.
Yeah, it's true. They don't need to.
It's like Fuente, like, ooh, Opus every year. Don Carlos or Opus every year in the top fucking 5.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I was kind of glad to see that I didn't, like, that rare pink didn't make the list because that thing was not fucking good, dude. I smoked it. I was like,
I'm just kind of curious of what it tastes like because you said it has like shades of like an Opus taste to it.
Yeah. Because I think it's a Rosado wrapper, just like the Opus. But it's got that same, like, floral, like, bite to it that the Opus has. But I don't know. It's not good. I didn't like it. I was like, meh. I smoked it, and I was like, whatever. Fine, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm glad it's not on the list. But yeah, generally speaking, that's how I always say. Like when I always tell people, like, this was the number 1 or number 2 cigar.
Oh, really?
I always qualify it by saying if you place any stock in that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then like you're like, oh yeah, like kind of like passively saying like you're an idiot.
Yeah.
If you do, like
it's useful for like discovering new brands that you'd never try. Like the Warzone, never heard of it. Like if I see it on the shelf, like, I'll give it a try.
But there's like almost every time I've ever deigned to try a cigar because it made that list, and I did try it, I was always underwhelmed every time. Like I'm like, if it's not something, it's not from a company or a brand or a line that I'm familiar with already.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of it, or if it's from a company, a brand, or a line that I typically don't like, and it makes the list, and I try it, like, I'm like, what? Okay, this doesn't really change my opinion of this brand. And like I remember the Axis Mundi, that one fucking from Archetype or whatever, made like number 3 or 4 on their list a few years ago. And I tried it. I'm like, this is fucking supposedly good. Like, I can barely smoke this. It's like, but whatever. Anyway, any other notable exceptions? Anything that, I mean, this has been kind of a year where I just like been kind of staying in my lane. I haven't really been trying a lot of like new and different stuff. That Highclere Castle, I would say, is the one thing on the list that I tried this year that I was like, that's a pretty good cigar. But I just don't want to spend the money on it. It's just not really worth the extra uptick in dollars. So, you know.
Yeah, I haven't tried too much stuff this year. New stuff this year. Because of things, because of reasons.
We're just calcifying into old men, just settling into our
I would love to try new stuff if they had new stuff coming in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like, I don't feel like trying new stuff. I'd love to try new stuff all the time, but yeah, didn't have the opportunity really.
I feel like if there was a few things that I brought you from Maloney that you hadn't had before this year and you tried, and I don't think any of it was anything that you really liked. I'm trying to remember. All I can remember is the JDN CT. And then did I give you one of those Guardians of the Farm?
No.
I like that cigar a lot. That's a good cigar from Aganor Salif. Definitely was my probably my best of. I was on my best of 2020 last week. So a cigar that like, yep, that cigar is in the fucking rotation. Like I smoked it like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, this is in the rotation. It's a good fucking cigar. Just kind of has that like, it tastes like a Lugione basically. So that kind of like I think it's a Corojo, so it kind of has like shades of the Ho 10, but it's not nearly as expensive, and some of the same flavor profiles going on. A lot of complexity, varying degrees of like intensity in the flavor, a lot of nuance. Good cigar.
This Camacho is kind of sus on the burning.
Yeah,
it's burning pretty well, like that first half.
And then you're gonna like rage out on it. And
no,
like, it doesn't even fucking burn. What the fuck? It's like a basic thing for a cigar. Like, why are you? I think whatever the Cuban tobacco is in the filler though, for some reason.
No, I imagine
when I was smoking it, or not the filler, the binder actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's a guess based on the flavor profile, because when I get it, it doesn't like I can tell that the filler tobacco, like it's like right when you draw in on it, you get a little bit of like oh, I can get that cute, but by the time you like the full flavor profile hits your palate and you're breathing out, which is typically like the filler tobacco taking over, like so that little like almost Cuban-esque flavor that you would get is like just while you're like right now when you're drawing on it before the flavor hits your palate. So I would suspect it's the binder.
Yeah, something that old, you can't expect it to uphold its flavor at all.
Oh. Well, I don't know. Wasn't it you we were talking about pre-embargoed Cubans, and I was like, I'm skeptical that it would be any good. And you're like, I don't know. Somebody gave me one years ago. It was fucking dope.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that one was crazy. But that was the whole cigar was pre-embargoed. Like the sliver of this shit, I don't know if that would do anything.
Yeah, that's a good point. It could just be a pixie dusting and just like, we just put a little bit of it in there.
Yeah.
Like, we mixed like the
Salt Bay.
Right, yeah, we mixed the filler with like Honduran and 90% Honduran and 10% like of that pre-embargo, and it's like just a little dusting of it in the filler. Most of the cigar is not that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
What is that that crazy shit people believe in? If you like get medicine and you dilute it a whole bunch, it'll still have the property of like full strength medicine.
No, it's actually the inverse of that. You're talking about essential oils.
No, not essential oils. Other thing. What is that? What is it called?
I thought you were talking about that. That's the whole premise behind essential oils. Is basically the more you dilute something, the more potent it is.
Okay. I guess I didn't know that was the name. I thought it was something else, like holistic or not holistic, but anyway, I'll try to remember what the term was.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure you're talking about essential oils.
Yeah, it's like that thing's like it's actually better.
You just like dilute it like 100 times, and it's like
it's basically water, but there's some medicine in there.
Yeah, but it's not medicine. That's the thing.
There's some medicine in it.
No, there's some oil in there that you think is medicine. you know, what they call alternative medicine that works, right? Medicine.
Moving on. Got any cool news for this week?
No?
No?
I don't have any news this week. I didn't, I was, because of like all the stuff at the White House and all of that, I was trying to like avoid fucking like reading the news at all. I was like, I just don't.
Press Pass doesn't read the news?
I don't read the news. I don't read the news hardly at all, actually. It's like not a thing I do. I make the news.
Whoa!
I make the news.
Well, you are the liberal media.
I fucking make it. I make it.
Don't let the liberal media tell you how to think and fail.
That's true. What do you got? Anything?
Netflix will release a new movie every week in 2021.
That doesn't sound good.
I guess this is a big push. Netflix officially confirmed Tuesday. When was this? Last week. This week. That will be releasing new films every week in 2021. The new slate of movies, including original productions and acquisitions from across all genres. Some of the final installments of homegrown franchises like All the Boys Will Be Loved, I've Loved Before, and The Kissing Booth. I don't want to read the rest, but yeah.
So it's releasing Netflix produced original content, or just like some of it will be stuff that is.
So from the article is like some of them are just finishing up old series that they were doing, and some of them are beginning new franchises. So
I don't even remember the last time I watched a Netflix original movie.
I don't like them.
No, neither do I. That's why Winter on Fire was probably the last one I saw, which I will say was really, really fucking good. But other than that, I can't remember the last some series I've watched since then. But a Netflix movie, like everyone I've ever seen has been like from meh to just like
that 7 Underground movie.
600 Grand?
Oh, 600 Grand.
Was that like a Netflix original movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael Bay directed.
It
Netflix
was
original.
so fucking bad. It was so bad. Or like all those Adam Sandler movies. Like, oh my fucking God, dude. That guy is the worst.
How about a hole?
Yeah, he's just terrible at making movies.
Why are you looking at me, Schwan?
Yeah, but by most accounts, he's a great guy to work with. Super nice. I have no doubt that he's a super nice guy. And like, whatever. I will say he's unpretentious, so that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, his movies are just the worst. I just can't even watch any of them. It just makes me want to die.
You eat shit for
You
breakfast?
eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
Anyway.
So yeah.
Denmark debuts new children's television show about a man with a huge and uncontrollable penis.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I watched it.
The show?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's up with his uncontrollable penis?
It's like the interesting thing is they could have pulled it off like this guy could have a magic tail. But it comes from the front. So like it has to be his dong.
What is the narrative of the show does not reveal that?
What? No, it doesn't say anything. It's like, oh, it's his penis. Like people are just like, oh wow. Oh. It's like a helpful dick. Like it saves people and like, helps them like barbecue stuff and walk the dog.
He helps.
His dong.
He saves, but he rapes.
Yeah.
But he saves, but he most definitely rapes.
He saves more than he rapes.
He saves more than he rapes. Yeah, that's
It's a very interesting art style. It's like almost Tim and Eric with like stop motion.
Like claymation?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't, yeah. That's, what? Nobody gave any insight into the impetus for this.
I don't know.
That's super weird.
Yeah.
Actually, I take it back. I do have a bit of news before I forgot that I learned this week. I think it's largely resolved itself at this point. But did you hear that Armie Hammer social media firestorm?
I heard something about it.
So apparently what happened is somebody like leaked some supposedly direct messages from him. This is how you know that it's just like people just find shit to fucking dogpile on people about. Is like there's all these messages and like now, okay, so you would think it's like, oh, it's like he's super woke, right?
Is he? I don't know. I don't know anything about Armie Hammer.
He's not super woke.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he is. I don't know. But let's just say like the woke movement gets its claws into him. And you would think it'd be like he's sexist, he's homophobic, he's racist, he's one of those things. Nope. He's a cannibal. apparently this is a fucking believable thing that like you can accuse somebody of that he's a fucking cannibal.
How's that?
Because apparently in these DMs,
I want to eat your box out, and it's like he's a cannibal.
Apparently, it's like he says he's a cannibal and like says he wants to drink this bitch's blood or something, and it's like,
well, he's in the freaky shit.
And then so he like pulled out of some movie like to be home with his family and shit because he was like getting threats and everything. And then I think whoever like posted the DMs said that like that it was fake. And so, like, I think they kind of, like, owned up to the fact that it was fake. And because of, like, how quickly people... Like, no one cast a skeptical eye at this is what's fucking irritating to me. No one been like, really? Cannibalism? Like, that seems a little fucking hard to believe. That he would just tell some random fucking person.
It sounds like an Alex Jones thing. We're trying to make baby-flavored sodas.
No, but if you just, like, go... Like, I wasn't really following the narrative. I just learned about it. I like Armie Hammer in general. I
don't know the dude.
He's the man from U.N.C.L.E.
Sure.
So, I mean, he's good in that. I like that.
I don't know him personally.
No, I don't know him personally either. But, like, fucking what do I care what he's into personally? But, yeah, it was, like, it's just, like, in the time, like, it was basically, like, someone posted, like, yeah, he's into this shit. And then, like, 10 minutes later, they were like, oh, no, I was just kidding. It's funny, though, right?
Oops,
but in that 10 minutes, there was just like 1,000 articles written about it, about how he's like, oh, my God, like, ah. And it's like, no one took pause to just be like...
No one did the footwork.
Like, cannibalism?
Yeah.
Like, really? That's not a thing that people do.
Yeah.
And it's certainly not a thing that people do and talk about to random strangers on the internet. Like, maybe you might clandestinely be like, hey, it's okay.
Jump on your leg. Yeah.
And apparently that is like a fetish where people are like into being cannibalized. Yeah. But I don't think...
It's nice to have you over dinner.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like... And the thing is, I only found like those two messages, like the one message where he says, I'm 100% a cannibal and I want to drink
it. It is me, Arm and Hammer. I love eating people.
Yeah, I want to drink your blood, right? And then the other one was like...
Let us make it clear, I am Armie Hammer. I love to drink your blood.
Yes. And then the other one was like, and at one point he says that like, you're my angel, you were sent here to save me. And it's like, okay, that's not incriminating. So basically you have one line message from this guy, and you think that that's a commentary on the fact that he's being serious.
Yeah.
I just, whatever, man. Like, you're talking sexy to somebody, and people will say some fucking weird shit, Like the episode of fucking Seinfeld where he's talking about, I don't really know how to do all the dirty talk. And then so she starts talking dirty to me, and I was a little flustered, and I didn't know what to say. She starts talking about her panties to me. And so I said... He's like, oh yeah, what'd you say? I said, you mean the panties that your mother laid out for you? What are you doing? That's no good. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know what to say. He's like, yeah, that's no good, Jerry. He's like, I didn't know. And it's like, now it's really weird and I can't take it back. It's like, yeah. But like, so he said one thing and then now it's just like, God, it was just unbelievable. Like how many things were written as if like, first of all, what I would initially assume is some skepticism that it was real. And then if it were real, assume some skepticism that someone's fucking trolling you.
Yeah.
And then if they weren't trolling you and it was real, then it's like, okay, is that like one thing? Like, that's not necessarily an indicator, whatever, right? It's not like he's talking about like...
Well, is there any proof that he's eaten anybody? So he's not a cannibal. He's like cannibal adjacent.
Well, and the thing is you would like...
Right?
It would be
How's he a cannibal? It
would be more accurate to say he's a vampire, right? Because like eating people and drinking their blood are like different things, right? That's a like semantic argument, but like no one's even stopped at the like maybe someone is trolling us step, because apparently that's what was happening.
Yeah,
it's like seriously, like you just want to... I don't know, fucking ruin this guy's life.
Yeah, for nothing.
Make him pull out of some movie that he was like doing some J-Lo movie, and he was like, yeah, I'm worried that my family might be murdered while I'm away, so I'm not gonna do that, and I'm gonna stay home, and then there was a bunch of articles about his response, because he like did the dumb thing to respond and be like, that's fucking ludicrous bullshit. Like, why are you... And then they're like, oh my God, he's like denying it. It's like,
he's a loose cannon.
Yeah. Apparently a similar thing happened to Lana Del Rey. I just not with the cannibalism, but like I just got her latest album and I was listening to it and we were talking about it at the house, and apparently she had said
some vinyl.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
I'm on that kick now. I got some new records in the mail today, actually. Good stuff. So I was listening to it and I was like, yeah, okay. We were talking about Lana Del Rey, and apparently she had said something to the effect of, it's kind of refreshing that a lot of artists are making music that are similarly themed to what I make, because that's good, because I used to catch a lot of flack. Like she's gotten a lot of flack for like romanticizing like damaged relationships and being like mopey and, making it out like, death is glamorized and all this. She's got a lot of criticism about that. This is like the second wave of criticism about her, which the first wave was that basically her whole stage persona was like a creation of record producers to like bump it, which, is not terribly unfounded, because if you kind of follow the trajectory of her career, like she used to be very different and kind of quiet. And then when she recorded as Lizzie Grant, and then, she assumes this whole kind of like sleek, sexy, like, nostalgic persona, Baroque pop kind of situation, and then she gets popular, and so that's not without merit. But this is the second wave of criticism, and then now like she's like, hey, it's cool that like, other artists, and she lists some artists, right? And I guess they're all like Black or Hispanic artists. So it's like now she's fucking racist for saying that, because she mentioned that they were like, she just named them. She didn't say like, hey, all
these Hispanic people really dig my music.
She didn't say that. She just said like, artists like this person and this person and this person, like making music about these things, and they're very successful. And so, and then apparently she tried to like, this is what you don't do. She tried to clarify what she meant and be like, no, like, hey, I'm not like racist or anything. Like
see, she is racist.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. She posts like, I have friends that are minorities and dated a couple of hip hop artists, and like, so very obvious.
They are not your props. They are people.
Exactly. And so they're just like, that's not that basically, unless if you just get accused of being racist, the proper response is just to grovel at that altar and just apologize and like try to make things better by doing some horse shit. And she didn't do that. She was like, hey man, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I'm not racist. I got all kinds of friends that are minorities, and just ask those people, and like all the black dudes I fucked or whatever. Like,
what?
And so it's like, yeah. Then she just kind of just kept trying to clarify and like just digging the hole deeper. And it's like, yeah, you would think she'd know better, but apparently not. It's like, she already got fat. You can't just leave her alone for a while. Poor gal.
Fuck. You're gonna fat shame her for being racist too? I don't know.
Yeah. No, she got a little fat. She's no less sexy though. She's still sexy as fuck. Because talent is much sexier than being thin, apparently.
Adolf Hitler wins election. I want to say Nambia, but has no plans for world domination.
I've been pulling for that guy for the last 60 years to kind of what? Some dude named Adolf Hitler, I think.
Yeah, Adolf Hitler was elected with 85% of the vote in a seat for the regional council.
That's more than the actual Adolf
in
Hitler.
The former German colony. So I guess his father named him Adolf Hitler, not knowing like what that meant.
That's kind of weird, considering it's a German colony.
Yeah,
it's a black guy.
It's a black guy too.
Nice. I don't see the resemblance. Fuck yeah. You gotta have some good platforms if you're fucking named that.
Yeah.
You're like, no, hear me out here. I got
seriously, guys, check this out.
I got some good ideas. Kudos to the people of Nambia or whatever. I don't know. It sounds like a sleep medication or something.
Nambla.
Nambla. Kudos to them for like just being like, hey, you know what? Like, who cares what his name is? Let's listen to what he has to say. Yeah. Like, maybe he's got some good ideas.
Yeah.
And he's got some good ideas. We're gonna vote for him. And a fucking like landslide victory, man. Fuck.
Who knew?
Was there only one other guy or gal that ran against him?
I think so.
Because if it was like a 3-person race, like they really got fucked up, right? Splitting that 15%.
My father named him after the man. He probably didn't understand what Adolf Hitler stood for. As a child, I saw it as a totally normal name. Only as a teenager did I understand the man wanted to conquer the whole world.
He didn't even change his name at that point. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking run with this. I'm a black guy named Adolf Hitler. Fucking yeah, that guy fucking rules.
You think like people like in neo-Nazi parties like, no, we're not gonna say anything. Just leave it alone.
No name means what you think it means. He doesn't even look happy that he won. He looks fucking mad.
It's like his driver's license.
He's like, what the fuck? Because he said he realized as a teenager he could have changed his name, but he's like, no, I'm gonna go into politics and I'm gonna show y'all what's up. I'll fucking just cross over dribble on everybody. The fucking name Adolf Hitler. It's like that episode of Friends.
His middle name too, Adolf Hitler.
Adolf Hitler.
No, Adolf H. You wanna? I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
There's an episode of Friends where Joey tries to. He wants to change his name. He's like, yeah, I think I'm changing my name to something else. I don't know. Joey just kind of seems, childish. I think I should just change it. Tribbiani is like, yeah, too. I want something a little more like neutral. And he's like, so Chandler is like messing with him initially, and he's like, why not Stalin? And he's like, Joe Stalin. He's like, yeah, I like that. And he just his eyes kind of get wide, and he's like, Joe Stalin. He's like, yeah, you might want to try Joseph. And he's like, Joseph Stalin. I think you would remember that. He's like, seems like you would. He's like, apparently he's this horrible dictator and killed all these people. You think you would have known that of all people, Chandler? Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
Anyway, got any other news?
No, I just had the Lana Del Rey and Armie Hammer thing.
Okay. What else? Got any recommendations for the week? Anything cool?
Yeah, I haven't had anything new that Oh, apparently I tried minute rice and bacon and eggs for the first time this week. Pretty fucking good.
Got woke on that.
I was like, this is fucking good.
Yeah.
This is like minute rice, bacon and eggs.
Goddamn right.
I was like, I never had this before.
Yeah.
I don't know why I never put those things together, but I didn't. And I had it for the first time. I was like, easy to make.
Yeah. Goes in the rotation.
It's quick. Like once you got that bacon in the fridge,
yeah,
you just gotta base some eggs.
Yeah.
Fucking make some minute rice. Super easy.
Yeah.
Super tasty.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I have a grind by gear segment. This is the first time I've ever had like plastic like cutlery that fucked up my mouth. Like it's poorly made. It had like sharp edges on a spoon.
Whoa.
And my fucking lips are all cut up. Like fuck off.
That's gay.
That should be illegal.
I don't understand why. This has grinded my gears on the way here. What the fuck is it with people driving?
What?
That like they think that if you just put your four-ways on, you can just stop anywhere. You can just stop in the middle of fucking traffic if you put on your four-ways.
No.
And just sit there.
No.
For however fucking long you want.
No.
This is what apparently people think, that you can just do this. And it happens all the fucking time. I'll just be driving to someone who like have their four-ways on, and I'll be like, why are you fucking stopped?
Yeah.
There's the side of the street right there.
I have my blinkers on.
Pull off to the side of the fucking street. You see all those cars parked on the side of the street? You could park behind one of them. It's like you can't even be bothered to like, you just, I have my four-ways on. It's fine. I'll just stop in the middle of a fucking highway or something, right? Like, just idiots. And this is like thing I realize like all the time. And it's not exclusive to California. I used to have it all the time when I lived in Iowa and Michigan too. It's just like people on large, or just a certain stripe of person that thinks I can stop anywhere I want. And if I put my four-ways on. Remember when people used to put their four-ways on because they had like a flat tire? Right, their car stopped, ran out of gas or something? Like that is no longer the thing anymore. I don't think that people realize those are hazard lights. Yeah. Those are emergency lights. That's what they're there for. I've never used the four-way lights on my car. Not once. Because I've never had an emergency. I didn't know it was just like, I'm just going to stand here in the middle of the street and you just need to drive around me. That's what those are supposed to indicate. Apparently, according to most people, that's what they indicate. You need to drive around me because I'm an asshole. Yeah. That's what the lights should just blink. I'm an asshole. Drive around me. Fucking obnoxious.
Yeah, I don't know if that came from like gig working like gig economy stuff where like you're door dashing, you don't need to find a parking space. You put those fuckers on and run into a house or something like that or whatever.
No, it was a problem before that.
Yeah.
Because this is, like, I remember it happened going on this diatribe when I lived in Iowa. This is well before DoorDash and Uber and Lyft were all a thing.
Uber.
Like, Uber. So yeah, it's been and that's the thing is like I like in areas where it's just like there's ample places to like pull off and park your car or like stand your car or whatever. But like I'll see people do it just like pull up to like a fucking liquor store and just put their four-ways on, go in and get liquor and come out and get in their car. It's just like you just want to.
That is really annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just like irked me today, man. It makes me want to like hit those people's cars or like smash their windows or their lights out or something just to teach them a lesson about that. Like
yeah.
If I were a pettier person, I would.
The most annoying one to me is you're at a like high traffic place or high traffic parking lot. Let's say the mall, the hospital, theater places, and people are too lazy to just find a parking spot somewhere else farther away. So they park in the middle of park in the front row of the parking spots and just wait for people to leave.
That's obnoxious.
It's annoying.
Yeah, on the parking.
The most annoying thing is like you're at the gym and someone's doing that. It's like, what are you going to the gym for? Where are you going there?
To walk. You're gonna walk.
And you see those people waiting there, and then you're doing your workout, and you see them on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like it really irks me when people park across two parking spots.
Oh my God.
It really irks me. It's like just basically a way of saying my car is more important than your car.
Yeah.
I can take up two spaces because I don't trust you not to ding my car or something like that. I remember that happened where there was a guy, and he did this in the apartment complex where my old lady used to live. And my best friend and my old lady lived there, and so I was over a lot. And then I was staying there for a minute while we were looking for an apartment. And I left him a polite note on his car, like, "Hey, man, like these stalls right in front are for the people that live in this building upstairs. The other side is for the people that live downstairs. And you take up two spots, and so there's no place for me to park when I come home. Could you kindly just take up one stall?" And it just passive aggressively, like I saw him see the note and like scoff at it and like crumple it up and like throw it to the ground. And then like when he came home, he parked over two spots. He even like parked like this way, like almost trying to take up three spots.
Yeah.
Like just to be an asshole. So yeah, I just took a fucking rock and I just carved asshole into the fucking like hood of his car and the paint. Like I really got it in there too. Like,
yeah,
just like fucking like you're going to have to redo your whole fucking car's paint job. So you could have been polite, and instead now you'll spend $1,000 getting your car repainted, or just have asshole scratched on the front of your car.
Yeah.
Not my proudest moment.
Yeah.
But
street justice.
Yeah. Street justice. But yeah. It's like one of my favorite stories about the gym was fucking Adam scraping that fucking lady's car up.
That's such a baller move.
Such a baller move.
It's like, hey, wait a minute, I'm rich as fuck.
Yep. Yeah. So to tell the story, because apparently not everyone knows it, Adam, a guy that I know is a regular here at the shop, or used to be anyway, he's like kind of a buddy of mine. He came in and he was pulling into his gym one day. And there was this car that was like kind of just standing there, just not moving or anything. And like he couldn't get by, and he tried to like gesture to this person to like get by, and they were just like, oh, whatever, like, oh. And he was just like getting really irritated because they like got out of their car and they like went and they were like doing something or something. I don't remember all the details, but what I do remember is that he was like, in that moment, I was doing the calculation in my head, like, okay, if I just move past her and just scrape my car on the side of her car, like, what will it cost me?
Yeah.
Right. What will it cost me? And he's a fairly well-off guy. He was like, what will it cost me, like, with my insurance? Because I have insurance on my car, and like, so once the deductible's all out of the way and everything like that. Like,
it was a Tesla too, I remember.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
it was a
she was like very proud of her Tesla.
Yeah, and he's like, I was really just irritated, like this fucking really entitled like person. And I tried to ask them politely to move, and they wouldn't. And I'm like, oh, just hang on just a minute, like you can just accommodate my schedule. And he was like, I was kind of in a hurry, I only had a certain amount of time to work out. And he's like, so I did the calculation and I figured probably like damage to my car all in is probably going to be a couple $1,000. Mm-hmm. And then I just decided it was worth a couple $1,000 for me to just fucking piss this person off and be able to go to the gym on time.
Yeah.
He's like, so I just like went past her car, just side by side, just and just watching the look of like disbelief on this woman's face when I scraped her car like that, and I just got out and said, here's my insurance card, I'm going to the gym. And just like the look on her face was worth the money alone, let alone my time to go to the
real
gym.
Fuck you money,
I was
dude.
like, that was fucking just super baller.
Yeah.
Because in general, like, yeah. But then again, he's a guy that parks across 2 parking spots. His truck, so.
Yeah, that's annoying too.
Yep.
It's like, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Let's pick him up truck.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not around. He's in Florida, so otherwise I would have been like, hey, man, why don't you actually use that truck for something that trucks are supposed to be used for?
I would never do that.
It's just like, it's like an apartment that you can drive down the fucking highway is what it is. It's like, here, it's all these new speaker system I got. I'm like, look, dude, it's just cool. I'm happy that you like your truck and everything, but I don't need to know like how it's more like an apartment and you got a jacuzzi in the back now or whatever.
Like at most, I'm in my car for like 30 minutes at most.
Yeah, I think, my drive to Ohlone is like 25 minutes. That's as long as I'm ever in the car. And generally speaking, it's comfortable enough with music and heat that I don't need to have...
Does it run?
Yeah.
Do all the lights work? When I turn the key, will it turn on reliably?
Does it do the thing that a car is supposed to do?
Yeah.
Well met, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Recommendations? No recommendations, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what we were on. Oh, it's the fucking minute rice thing.
Oh, yeah.
Get the minute rice.
Eat
minute rice.
Mm-hmm.
I had something else, too, but you go and maybe it'll come to me.
Okay. So for some of the people out there that are interested in getting into MMA, the thing that I found, because there's so many fight cards throughout the year, it's hard to keep track or stay current to everything. I think for me, a great thing to watch weekly, even though I don't watch all the fight cards like from top to bottom, is there's a couple YouTube channels that kind of like take the news from this week or past weeks or whatever and kind of do like a digest. Because the first channel I'm going to recommend is like MMA Digest. It's one of the first ones I encountered, and that's something I watch weekly. Another one would be like Full Mount MMA. It's like that one has like a really high production thing to it. So if you want to get into the sport and you can't really catch up with all the news, those are great little things to watch in between if you can't catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah. The links on the bottom of the video.
I've had these boots now for a little over, well, not quite a month yet. But I think they're pretty solid. Thursday boots. Just check out Thursday boots. They're pretty good. I mean, ideally, I'd want to check back in a year and see how the soles are holding up. But so far, I've been pretty pleased. The boots are breaking in nicely, and they are doing the job. As my uncle says, it's the thing that's on the tin. Right? That's what I strive for most things.
Yeah.
Like thing as advertised.
Yeah.
Thing on the tin. That's what it is. It delivers. Also, I've been playing more chess lately. And
some Queen Gambits, a little bit of that.
I don't play the Queen's Gambits a lot. I'm a Rue Lopez guy, Sicilian defense.
That old chestnut.
That old chestnut. I see what you did there. I like the King's Indian a lot. Not that you know what any of this means. So, but anyway, so I've been playing Lee Chess. I've been playing chess on Lee Chess. And so if you play chess, like it's the best app for chess. Like every time I was thinking about the other day, I was like looking at it, I was like, man, this is a really well-designed app. They have all kinds of like exercises that you can do to get better. And then
don't they have like puzzles that you could?
Yeah, puzzles, like daily puzzles and stuff. I don't do those a lot because I don't find that, they just like
they're good for beginners, I imagine.
Yeah, they're good for beginners, but like they largely are just like situations that you don't necessarily always see in games.
It's like to have in your back pocket.
Yeah. Also, you can request a computer analysis of the game, and the game will show you like what you should have done, what you're doing wrong.
Breaks to E5.
Yeah. Check. Yeah. But it breaks it down. It introduced me to the concept of centipawn loss, which I'd never heard of before. So that's interesting. And it moves in real time, which is like there's no lag. Like if I'm playing you, like, and you moved, like it would basically like move a second or two later.
Okay.
Like it's you can get through a game pretty quickly if you move quickly. And there's all kinds. You can set it to whatever parameters you want for every game, blitz chess or timed chess or whatever. And there's a lot of people that use it, so you can play random members of the community and do that. So yeah, I just was going through some of the features. I was the gal that I play with. I was like explaining to her, I was like, oh, you can just. She's like, why do I? Sometimes I like mess up with my moving, and like I'm like, well, you just gotta go into the settings, and like here are all these options for the settings. She's like, oh wow, there are lots of options in the settings. Like this seems like a Lee Chess commercial. Like, I was like, oh yeah, and you can change the way the board looks if you want it to like be a different color scheme. Like, so it's got a lot of cool features, and it's just like the least buggy chess app, because generally speaking, like I grew up playing chess on a board, but now I never do that because it's just the only knock against playing chess on an app is that it's just usually like slow and buggy, but Lee Chess is neither of those things. And so it's like super good, and like to the point now where like I don't even know how I would go back to like playing on a board. Like it just seems like it would just be like, I could just do this in the background of my day and play chess like in the background of my day, as opposed to like devoting an hour of like sitting down and doing it.
I always like the thing with the people with the bag and they have the roll mat and put the chat and the timer.
Yeah, the chess clock. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still have.
I've been to a couple house parties where a guy brings in a chessboard, and people playing. They're like drunk off their asses playing.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're doing the Sicilian defense. It's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. Is that the only opening you know?
I don't know anything about chess.
Queen's Gambit, Sicilian defense. Sure. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I probably.
So you played the same move Magnus did in the Grand Championship 2 years ago. It's a pretty good ending.
Yeah.
And your opening moves are kind of cool, but your middle game's kind of whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I use like the same 2 or 3 openings pretty much. I don't play a lot of like different openings, which is probably a big flaw in my game. But then again, every time I see someone play some like more esoteric opening, and I play them, and it's like, okay, you know this opening, but you don't know how to develop it. So it's like by the time we get to mid game, like I'm just fucking tearing you apart. Like I'm just using like center game or like King's Pawn game, because that's mostly what I use. Every now and again, like I'll if I'm playing black, I'll use Sicilian, but I like the Indian attack. I like Root Lopez. Those were my favorite openings, and so I just use them a lot, and because I know how to develop them. And like, people are like, oh, this guy's I was playing with Stacy the other night, and I was like, oh, you're using the ready defense, and she's like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, that's knights to center board. Like you just develop your game differently. It's more knights, which is weird because she says she hates knights. She's like, I don't know how to use knights. I don't know how to use them. I'm like, well, then why are you playing as open? It's like she just gets bored playing the same few openings, and I'm like, okay, I don't like. I just develop them in a way that's like whatever. So I'm sure if you had like a chess computer and you just played the chess computer, it would probably use like the same 2 or 3 openings every single fucking time.
Oh, does it?
I would guess. I don't know. I don't play the computer because it's fucking mega hard.
Yeah.
It's like I'll think I'm good, and then
I had the slider on easy. Oops.
Yeah, something. But it's usually just set the ELO for the computer. But that's the thing is like I haven't played in a while, and so I was like playing it, and I was doing the computer analysis, and I'll be like, yeah, I feel like I played pretty good that game. It's humbled me having the computer analysis, because I'm like, yeah, I did pretty good that game. And the computer was like, you made 3 blunders. And I'm like, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I was like,
over here.
I mean, it doesn't talk, but it shows me. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Nate in 3.
And it's like, yeah, this was a better move. And I was like, fuck, it was too. Damn it. So then last night, like we were playing, and I like after like a few games of like it, I am like when I'm playing well, like the computer analysis doesn't show that I make blunders. I make occasional mistakes, and frequently I'll make a handful of inaccuracies. But a blunder is like something that you shouldn't make if you're like anything beyond like the most novice level player. And so I was like, what the fuck? But it humbled the fuck out of me. I was like, I felt like I played pretty good, but I felt like I played good like a couple games last week too, and I had some blunders in there. I was like, I don't know, maybe I didn't. I mean, I won, but like I don't know. And then I did computer analysis, and it was like you can see it like tallying up while it's counting. Because so it has at the top it has inaccuracies, which are just like, okay, that wasn't a perfect move, but like it's really not going to cost you that much. And then it has like mistakes, which is like you shouldn't have done that. Blunders is like that's bad.
Yeah.
And then it shows your centipawn loss, which is like basically 100 centipawn is like 1 pawn loss. So, you know, it's 100th of a pawn. And so the lower that can be, the better. And usually my centipawn loss is somewhere between 20 and 40. And usually I'll make like 1 or 2 inaccuracies and no mistakes and no blunders. And, just, like I was feeling good about the game. I was like, yeah, I felt like I developed that game pretty good. I'm like, I don't know though. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I mean, I probably did okay.
And then second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
Now?
And then I get the analysis, and it's like just 0 all the way down. Centipawn loss is like 15 or something like that. I was like, okay, I did play good that game.
Yeah.
It's like I just wanted you to doubt yourself, to have humility.
You're getting cocky, kid.
Yeah, kind of. It's like I was just, well, because especially, I mean, like, and I will preface it by saying this, like Stacy does not really play chess, but she's pretty fucking good for somebody that doesn't play chess. Like she played a pretty flawless game too, that game, and I was like, man, she's playing pretty fucking well. And she's like, oh, you're kicking my butt. And it's like she made 1 blunder, and I just capitalized on it. And
yeah.
That's all you do. You make a blunder against somebody who's halfway decent, and it will make you pay. And so she's pretty good, but it's not like I can still not play great and probably still beat her because she's just far less experienced than I am. Like she doesn't, she's like, oh, you did that king swappy thing. I'm like, castling? She's like, yeah, I don't know.
Why would you ever want to do that?
She's like, you have some sort of plan. Like just because I castled, I'm like, it's like I'm playing 3D chess. Yeah, it's like, no, it's like a thing I do sometimes.
I'm 20 moves ahead.
Yeah. And so but she's pretty good. But like, I don't have to play like as good as I can play to like beat her. So it's like, I can feel like I think I played pretty well. Like what I'm saying is that the win is not an indicator that I played really well. Yeah. I played as well as I can because if I just played somebody that were better, they would probably maybe have beat me if I played, I don't know, Anthony Miller, maybe he plays chess a little bit, but it's hard to say, like, if those games that I played with her where I made the blunders, I still would have won against somebody else that was more experienced. But yeah, I don't know. But it's a good app. It's like, if you like chess or you watch the Queen's Gambit and are interested in getting into chess, then...
Lee?
L-I. Yeah.
L-I. Okay.
Lee chess. Yeah. I guess it means, like, quickly or something in some other language.
So do you think with all these tools available for the public, like we're gonna have a generation of like really, really decent chess players? Like this generation of like new chess players are gonna be like well off than previous generations.
I don't know. It's hard to say because on one hand, like when you watch a Queen's Gambit, that's what you notice is that it's like, this pursuit of perfection. But like now I feel like that the best computers are better than the best humans. It might almost be a deterrent because, like I was saying with the Queen's Gambit, watching that show, it's like simultaneously reminded me what I love about the game and also why I don't play on a regular basis anymore. Seriously, because it's like the time investment and the obsession that you'd have to have for the game in order to get like to that next little like increment above where you are. Like I would have to work to get better than I am. I would probably have to work as hard as I did to get as good as I am now. And it would just be like an extra 1%, not even. Yeah. It's like if you wanted to measure it in ELO, my ELO might go up 100, which is on a scale to like, a couple thousand or whatever. I mean, there's really no limit to how high it could go, but the best chess computers in the world play at like a 3,300 ELO. The best human players are like 24, 25, 2,600. Oh, wow. So that's a big difference. And I play somewhere probably between low 1,700 and mid 1,800, which is pretty decent. But, like to sharpen my skills, I'd have to be playing the computer, which is just boring to me. I don't want to play the computer. I'm more interested in playing a person. And so I'd have to play people that are that good. The only person I know that's significantly better than me is Adam. And he just wallops the shit out of me. And I studied the game analysis, and I was getting better for a while. And I was playing with Anthony Miller, and I played Sen a couple times, and I really would have liked to have played Sen more. Sen is really good at chess. And like we're pretty competitive. We're probably about as good as each other. We played like 2 or 3 games, and it just seemed like he wasn't interested anymore. And so, you know, it's like, like, but I would just have to invest all this time and energy and like whatever, like, which when it's like, you know, years of getting good, like I've gotten better in the last like year and a half, but it's because I was playing somebody that's significantly better than me. But to get to like that next little like level, like where he is, would just be like absolute fucking brutality. So I don't know. I mean, maybe more accessibility would be better. Getting people into it, I think that. But I was just reading something that like sale of chessboards went up like 125% after Netflix premiered that show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was like, whoa, that's
good.
That's impressive. Because yeah, I was thinking about getting a chessboard for my new house, as new apartment. I was like, oh, I'd like to have like. And Diana doesn't really play chess, but you know, if you got like a nice one, it'd be like a deck with like a decoration. You know? I was like, and plus we could play chess like. We wouldn't have to like sit on and play a game. You could just have the board out and you just move whenever you're inclined. She gets kind of like stressed out about it.
You're like doing this. She's like,
yep. Yeah, you just walk by, take a look at the board. Like, okay, yeah, let's move that there. Whenever you get the time, you can just move.
That'd be interesting to do.
Yeah, it's just like kind of have a game on in the background. Because I think that she gets anxious. She's like, I get nervous. We played once. She's like, I get really nervous and anxious about it. Like, I was like, why? Is you feel like something? I don't know. I feel like pressure or whatever. Like you're like watching me, and so it's like
that's what you do.
But I get it. You know, people that are anxious. Because I remember I went over to her house like when we first started dating, and she had gotten her dad this fancy chessboard that was like really cool. Actually, it was like this wooden chessboard. It was like all samurai themed and shit. Neat. And so it was like, you know, they had like the pawns were little like fucking guys, and like the king was like this fucking samurai dude, like on the horses and shit. It was fucking pretty baller. Yeah. And her brother was like, oh, you want to play some chess? And I was like, sure, kid, let's see what's up, right? I
will be playing chess. You'll just be moving the pieces.
Right. He'll just be reacting to me playing chess.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
He was getting all frustrated, you know, because he's a kid. He doesn't have any emotional maturity. It's like, I can't do anything. I'm like, yeah, that's the point.
I'm playing chess.
Right. It's just like it just to me it would be like if somebody that you like some teenager's like, hey, you want to like, you know, spar a couple rounds or something?
Oh yeah,
and
that's
you're just reacting to you. He's like,
oh fuck,
he's like, I can't do anything. It's like, yeah, that's because I'm choking you. Like you're going.
I can't breathe.
Yep. You just try to get out of that. See how that works.
Yeah, when you like kind of spar with little kids, you're trying to just get them used to moving, but they just fucking freak the fuck out. Like you're moving left to right, you might like switch stances a little bit. Like whoa, fuck, whoa, you just get freak out.
They're twitchy.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you should be that nervous when you're young. You're really vulnerable, right? So,
yeah, it's the worst to spar with. Actually, it's the most dangerous to see like 2 white belts spar because they just don't know what they're doing and they're just gonna hurt each other. Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, like, if you had to go like have a light sparring session like with another boxer and he's a pro, he's like, yeah, I'm not that good. Could we just like move around a little bit? It's like, yeah, sure. He's not gonna fuck you up unless he wants to, but it's like if you tell him like I'm trying to, you know, get better, can you help me out?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure. I'll, you know, take a couple swings at you, but I'm not gonna fucking blast you in the face.
Yeah, no, this has happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh, like you wanna feel what that level of talent looks like just dip your toe into it, but you don't want to open the floodgates on you. You just know that you're like not, and that's the responsible thing to do if you're the more talented fighter. Yeah. Is because you don't want to. But chess isn't like that, you know. Like you can't hurt somebody playing chess, so you hurt their feelings or whatever. But like, and so it's like, yeah, I don't do that. Like I don't go easy on people. It's just like, nope, I'm just gonna fight. Like if I can destroy you, I will destroy you because this isn't fighting. I'm not worried about hurting your feelings.
Yeah. Oh, there was a great Joe Rogan episode with Jordan Burroughs. He's an Olympic gold medalist, 4-time world champion. Yeah, and he did a exhibition match with Ben Askren. He's an MMA fighter. He was on the Olympic team also. And he just beat the brakes off him.
Wait, there's Olympic MMA fighting?
No, he was a former Olympic wrestler.
Oh, wrestler.
Turned MMA fighter.
Must have missed that.
And they had a match, and he was going for broke. And then, like, Ben Askren's like, hey, man, you're just going to let me score a point? He's like, nah, bro, I don't do that.
Well, the thing is, though, here's the thing, is I think that when you're like if you were sparring with somebody or fighting somebody or sparring with somebody in the ring or whatever, Like, they're not going to learn by me just going balls out and fucking them up.
Yeah.
Like, they won't. Like, you need to establish, okay, they're like, I need to match their level and maybe a little above it so that they will see what a little bit of more talent looks like. But like with something like an intellectual pursuit, like chess, you really do learn by just getting slapped around a bunch because it just shows the flaws in what you're doing. And you can kind of like exercise a little more control. But when you're just getting wailed into the fucking mat, you're not going to learn anything because you don't even have an opportunity to you're just in fight or flight mode. Like, Jesus, how do I not die? Right.
Well, that's also the advantage of playing chess on, like, you know, an app. You can look back at the game rather than like a live game. Unless you're making annotations, you're like, I don't know what the fuck I did.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I never was like, you know,
you're not that guy who's like,
nope, never, nope. I would just be able to like
look up on the ceiling and see the chessboard.
No.
But Take your magic pills.
I would just see like, oh, okay, like they're using this. Okay, so here's a progression. Most of the game is predictable up to a certain point, and you just kind of tease apart like, well, what happened that like where did things go awry? And usually you can put one or two things together and kind of like, but yeah, now that I have access to being able to like have the computer analyze the game and look at the game and replay the game, then that's why I've gotten better in the last 2 years because I have the capacity to do that. And maybe if I had been more thoughtful and diligent about it initially, like taking annotations and playing through my games, but mostly it's just trying to like play, you learn like what the progression of a certain opening is to middle game, and then you have a little flexibility in the middle game, and then you get to the end game and there's a progression. It's like a script almost. So it's about, can I remember what this progression of moves is and what to do in these scenarios, and like respond to what the other person is likely to do. And if they do something that's unlikely, is that because they're at a different level than me and they're better, or is it because they're at a different level than me and it's something I can't exploit? And those answers are usually pretty crisp. But yeah, the nuance of minor differences is really not revealed until you either study because you take annotation or because you have a computer analysis. I never was in the former category, mostly just because it always seemed really tedious. Like, I gotta write this down, write it down, make a move, write it down, write it down.
What's the great thing about chess too? You can look at like chess matches from centuries ago and just recreate it. It's like, this is how they play.
Yeah, and that's largely what most chess books have. I would always just read books on chess. And then try to like put them into practice, sit down with the board and play those games out and see like, okay, oh, here's what's happening here. And and then you get into different eras, right? Like there's a whole category of openings that are called modern openings, which are like not usually progressing the game faster by not establishing a super rigorous pawn structure, right? Pawn structure is very important in chess, but some openings like forego that for quicker progression in the game, and that has like some benefits. And I'm sure there's all sorts of chess theory about like why some work and some don't. And but yeah, some of them are more effective than others, especially if you understand like how they progress and where they. It also is contingent upon whether you're playing white or black. Like very few people play Sicilian when they're playing white because they move first, so you're the attacker.
So the Sicilians are dark.
Yeah, well, it's a defensive maneuver. So why would you do it if you're the first to move? Yeah, Sicilians are dark. Anyway, but yeah, I think you do benefit if someone just kind of slaps you around the board, like in general, because and I don't know, like it was something like chess too. I feel like if you water down your play, it really doesn't show much respect for the other person. Like it's just kind of disrespectful to be like, oh, I'm just gonna like play down to your level. It's like that's kind of rude, like because again, like when you're fighting somebody, it's like there's a difference.
Well, there's a difference between like a fight and like a sparring.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so, but like in general, like if I'm competent at something, I'm gonna show that competence to the best of my ability. And the other person should be doing the same. And I don't like, it's like, oh, you can't handle like, me playing my best chess. It's because it's not like literally like I can't handle you beating me up. Like literally I can't. Like I can't defend myself and probably would like just end up in very bad shape, right? So that's a different, that is showing respect by not going 100% against somebody that you know can't handle it. Mm-hmm. But in the intellectual space, I feel like it's inverted, like it's disrespectful to just like basically, like, oh yeah, well, just, I'll go easy on you there, kid. I feel the same way about pool. Like, I don't go easy on people at pool. Nope. I will play the best that I can against anyone. Period. Like, that's part of the reason I'm not really cut out for like money game hustling stuff. Like, I've done that. I've made some money playing pool against people, but it's always been just playing as well as I can play.
Yeah, you're not like flubbing shots on purpose. Like, let's play another game. No. Double or nothing.
Yeah, not doing that.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most inaccurate portrayals of anything about sporting events in films, is that like
the hustle,
the pool hustle. It's like, that's not how you hustle somebody. You hustle somebody over a long arc by convincing them that they are better than you, or at least on par with you. And then the one time that they're dropping lots of games is in their brain, it's an anomaly. And that's when you take a bunch of money off them. It's not like, oh, I didn't play so well one game, like, why don't we go triple or nothing? And it's like, and then I just run the rack on you. Like, that is not how people hustle in pool, like, in general. It's like, it would be like in poker, like, you just slow play one hand and then you're just like royal flush the next fucking. It's like, it doesn't work that way, right? That is not.
Yeah, it's a long con. It's a long game.
It's not how you siphon money off of somebody at a poker table.
Yeah, it doesn't work
like
that
get
way.
Them to fucking put a bunch of chips in and go all in, and like, oh yeah, like, yeah, maybe you get that guy to go all in and he's out of the table or whatever, but like, he's not sitting down with you again. Like, if he feels like you hustled him.
Yeah, because I think with Rounders, that last scene where he's like, oh, you didn't make that last card didn't make your hand all in.
Yeah.
That thing. That's the long con. Yeah. That's like the long game. You're playing the long game.
Yeah, but even they're guilty of that a little bit in the movie, where he's like, I sat down at a hand with Johnny Chan, and I beat the best. You beat Johnny Chan at one hand. One fucking hand. Like,
if you had to run at that dude for like 5 nights.
Yeah.
Okay, then you have chops then.
Yeah.
But bluffing him in one hand doesn't mean shit.
Doesn't mean anything.
You can bluff anybody off one hand.
Yeah.
It's not magic.
No. Nope. It's just like anybody can get. Yeah, I'm playing pool with you, and I could get unlucky and put the 8 out of turn.
Yeah. I'm the best.
Right. So yeah, I'm the best. It's like, but you're not gonna get lucky and run a rack on me. Or several racks.
Yeah.
Or run up 50 points in a game of straight pool. Like, that just won't happen. Like, and so if you structure like your con or whatever, it's like, I don't have any interest in shit like that. So like, yeah, maybe I can win pool money off somebody playing pool, but like, just that'd be it. Like, I'm not gonna, like, this isn't gonna be a regular thing with us. Like, maybe we'll play a set of pool for some money, but even then I don't think I would really do that, because inevitably that would be the thing. It's like, oh, we should play again next week or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I don't.
Are you playing me now?
Right. I don't want to like try to hustle you or have you try to hustle me and like play that game back and forth. Like, it's just not fun to me. Like, I just want to play pool.
Yeah.
That's what I want. So anyway.
Well, all right. That does it for this week, I guess.
Does it for this week? All right, went by fast.
Yeah. Got anything else?
No, I got nothing else.
That's it. You're all tapped out.
I'm fucking magic meme, dude. Fucking security guard.
What?
It was like, oh, they hired this security guard to at the school for COVID, and it's just and he's just playing magic with the hobby group, and the guy's comment like he's probably just tapped out. So fucking good.
All right. That was a pretty good story.
I don't even like magic, but it's just fucking funny.
All right. That does it for this week, peoples.
Persons, shims,
humans,
all
the zimzers and zayzems and hims and he's and she's.
We don't have any of those people that watch our show.
Oh
no, nope, none of them. I'm just declaring right now that there are none. I am like a hate crime to them. So
you're a walking hate crime.
Just a walking, sitting, talking hate crime.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god,
what a cisgendered piece of shit.
Did he just say retarded? That's not cool. Yes, I say retarded sometimes when things are retarded.
Okay. All right. I hope you're still listening. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to Mikey and the Press Pass podcast. Consider subscribing. You can rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and pretty much anywhere where you can listen to podcasts. And you can also write us with any ideas, suggestions, or horrible burning criticism at mikeyandthepresspass@gmail.com. Thank you.